What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So I'll give you a quick update. We are done with these straps. Done 100%. Ja! Finally. Kicked my butt. But I say that about everything, right? Everything's kicked my butt. So let me show you all the straps. All right, so first off, we got all the ones underneath the window. Boom, 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 and boom. So you saw all the ones above the windows go up, and then also the new ones are these guys. The center of what I would say a bay. So you have this pole and this pole, so that is a bay. So that center of that bay comes up. It looks funny, right? Not centered with the X. But the X bracing had two different links. It's going to do different places. So you're not. I wasn't expecting that to be centered, and it's not centered in the documentation either. So you got that one, and then that one. So those weren't hard at all. The hardest part about any of these new ones is they all get anchored to the floor. So I had to figure out how far to bring it out, and then drill anchor. Nothing crazy, but because the documentation said it should run from floor to ceiling, but we had the window in the way, and that's what you got to do. Now, I also got these angle iron, which is what the instruction actually called for. So I had these 3 sticks of angle iron that it said to use at the bottom of the window if you could not run the strap from top to bottom. So I reached out to the Mueller guy that's been helping me, and I said, hey, I just want to make sure I got this clear. I'm supposed to use these angle irons at the bottom of the window, and he said yes. And then I said, am I just supposed to cut and bend it to be able to attach to the floor? He said yes, just like you do with the flat stick. Just bend it and attach it. And then he followed up that remark with, I wouldn't use them. If I was putting your building up, or if I had this building, we would just use the flat strap, which is what we cut. We cut to put the top one on, so then you had the bottom length, which is, we had plenty of the flat strap. He said he's not sure exactly why they sent the angle iron, unless it's just because it was a kind of a custom type building. But he said in all of his buildings he's put up in the past, and if it was his building, he'd just continue on with the flat strap. And the flat strap is a lot easier to work with than that angle iron, I thought. So that's what we went with. Something else that's new. We had all the straps that go above the garage doors as well that got put up. And then, for whatever reason, this one bay right here got these little support brackets. So they go from the eave purlin to the very first purlin, go from the underside of the eave purlin up and over to the top side of the roof purlin. Got 2 of them in between the window. So those are also up and in. No idea why that is the only bay that got it, but who am I to say what's supposed to be what? So we lack 4 pieces. That's all we have left to get up, and we start sheeting. So let me show you. I think I've shown you in the past, but let me remind you what we need. What we have left are these 4 long 20-something foot pieces. So these pieces are gonna go at the roof, and this is where the sheet's gonna come up, and this is gonna give me my attachment point at the top of the ceiling on the side walls. So this wall here, it's gonna connect here at this corner, run up to the peak, and then the other one's gonna run down and run over there to that one. Now you can see that is bent because that's the one that I accidentally tore down. So hoping once I get it up there and attach it, you know, you won't have that problem. But we'll see. So that's what I'm about to get set up for now, is to get the ladders put up and try and get this done, because I've got a 4-day weekend coming up. Really hoping to be able to possibly knock this out in a weekend. You know, got the I'm gonna go rent some equipment on Thursday to move all of this stuff from down the hill up to the hill. All the sheets and the garage doors, we'll get the garage doors pushed onto the pad into the building, and then get the sheets up on the hill and possibly laid out, you know, side sheets on the side, back sheets, have them laid out in their general area. That way, you know, we're not having to walk for, you know, a long ways to get the sheets to bring them and then whatnot. So all the insulation's here behind me in the pod. I'd like to get rid of that. You know, that's costing me money every month it sits here. So I just got tired of the I shouldn't say I got tired. I felt bad because they've been holding on to all that insulation for me, and I thought I was a little bit closer. Thought we'd already have this done, or at least be started, but beside the point, we're here now. So I'm gonna get all the ladders started, or I'm gonna get all the ladders set up and get started. And all right, so I've got a piece put up to give you better representation of what I was trying to explain, because I know I'm probably terrible at trying to explain it. Let me just show you. So we have this piece here. This is the one that I just put up. So you can see now, see how it comes down here to this piece, which that's the piece, that corner angle that kind of comes from the base up. So now the sheet metal is gonna lay against this piece here and attach, and that gives me something nice and solid to go across this top line. You know, where the sheet's gonna lay, gives me a nice solid piece to attach to. Down at that end, I had that piece to go off of as far as how far to bring it out, and then over here towards this end, I can go off of this. But I tried to measure and do my best to make sure everything's, that this here, this lip, this one, is out the same all the way down. So it runs all the way down here to the peak. I think it's actually a little long, so the next one that goes up will have to be cut. As you can see, like, it kind of looks like it might be past the peak point, but it was flush with the eave purlin. But the next one, that, you know, it'll come up and hit here and then go down that way. So I gotta fix, you see this one right there, I gotta fix that one too while I'm up here. It comes down and then pulls inward instead of just going straight out like this one does. Go straight out. See how there's a gap in between this piece and that one, and there's not a gap between this piece and that one. So get that fixed too while we're up here. I just wanted to give you a visual representation of the last pieces that are going up. So we'll get these put up and we should be ready to sheet, guys. So close. I'm gonna show you a couple things. We've got all the red iron put up. I worked on that yesterday and got the last piece up. So I worked the rest of the day moving some stuff around, getting everything back up on the hill. So let me give you a quick rundown here. So we've got all of our trim pieces here. I tried to sort them color coded, just so we knew what we were working with. We knew where to kind of go get the trim pieces. But they're all laid out here, except these guys. I knew exactly where those went, and they're probably going up today, so I set them where they needed to be. We've got the panels up here. We've got panels over there. Panels over there. Garage doors, got them up and in the building. So that was kind of fun to get in here because they're larger than the door opening, but we got them up here. I got to do one more quick thing on the moment frame that I forgot to do a long time. It's one of those things that I was like, oh, I'll do that, you know, eventually. And here we are about to sheet and still hadn't gotten it done. So on this moment frame, I'm supposed to use these screws. So you can see every 24 inches to tack the moment frame to that beam. Well, you can see I got here and then didn't do anything from here. That middle one's got none. The other side's got about the same to that first purlin. And then I also got to do on the back side too for the moment frame that goes up there. But that shouldn't take but just a minute. Get that, you know, pre-drilled and then sunk in there, and we should be good to go. And then I will most likely start on the base trim. So there's a piece of trim that's going to attach to this here. It's going to come down and just kind of give it a nice finished look on the bottom. I asked him, I said, do I really need that? Because I've got that 1.5 inch, we got that 1.5 inch lip. And he said, yeah, it finishes it off and it helps with rust and all that stuff. So I've got to go around the whole building. The only place I won't be able to put it, I don't think, is on this wall, because the concrete guys didn't give me my 1.5 inch drop. So most likely this will just kind of be sitting on the concrete. But we'll see. We'll see how it looks when it gets on there. So yeah, you guys will get to start to see the color, I think. I don't know how well it'll show up, but you'll start seeing some color. And hopefully tomorrow, Saturday, we start sheeting. That is the goal. I'm hoping to get all this trim work, so I'll put all the base trim on. And then these pieces I put up yesterday, those all get J-channel trim. And then I want to get all the door trim. So we'll trim out these doors and the walk-in doors. We'll trim all those out and hopefully have that all 100% ready. We'll hopefully have that all 100% ready for whenever we start sheeting on Saturday, so that, you know, we're not getting slowed down by those kind of tasks, and it's just a, you know, super efficient weekend. And I will be forever grateful for the guys coming to help. So, all right, I will get started on this stuff. So we got all those screws put in, and we are rocking and rolling on to the next thing. So I've got the ladder set up here. We're gonna start with the trim for the garage doors. So I got my first piece here, got my measurement. So we're about to make a small cut. They're like 12 foot 2 inches, and I only need, I don't know, like 11 foot 11 inches, something like that. So I'm gonna start with the top pieces and then put the sides in. That way the sides will help hold the top. But let's get that rolling, guys. All right, quick update for you guys. We got the door trim put on. Let me show you that. Bam. Up, over, down. We got all 3 sides. So now, with what daylight we got left, we're gonna start running through and putting all this base trim down here at the bottom. So, show you some of that. So, apologize, I didn't get you much of any time lapses from yesterday. And it got too dark to show you any base progress we got on the base trim. So let me show you that real quick before we get started for the day. All right, so we got all base trim up to here. We got pretty much this whole back row done yesterday. All the way down there. We basically made it to the corner. We're like a couple inches short down there. We need a short piece that we'll have here when we start doing some of the front. So this is what we'll pick up this morning, getting this finished out, because we gotta still come. You gotta get to this door and then down and all the way down the front here. So that's where we will get started this morning, get that finished, and then we should probably be ready to rock and roll after that. I'll have to double check some things, but should be ready to roll. Got some help showing up now, so I'll see you guys here in a minute. It's there. We're getting there, guys. We're finally getting on a roll. Past the first window. That sucks. We only got 4 more to do, but we're getting there. It's looking good, guys. So right now we're measuring this next panel here because we gotta cut around these guys, make it fit like we did right here. So that's what we're doing now. So yeah, come along, guys. Getting some nice pretty bluish gray sheets up. Let me know what you guys think. So I know I didn't really give you a whole lot to watch from yesterday's. It was more complicated to get everything up and try and film and whatnot, so I just focused on getting the building up. Look at there. We got a whole wall up. How about that? So this whole back wall is done. Not done. I mean, we still got a lot of screws put in it, but we got it in there and up, insulation off. So now we are starting on this wall behind me here. Get that side wall done, and then we'll get the other side wall done, and then we'll get the front wall done. So a little bit less cutting of the metal today. You know, just about every couple panels had to be cut on the back wall because of the windows. So hopefully today, you know, we can get 4 or 5 sheets up, I think, before we need to make our first cut for the window, and then cut around the window, and then cut around the door. So shouldn't be too bad now that we got some, you know, experience under our belt, but we'll get them up. Okay, I'll give you what I can. Doing my best to give you some video content, but it's a little hectic out here on the job site. All right, guys, see you in a minute. What's up? Freaking dying in this heat, I know that. Man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody that's been here. It's so hot here in Arkansas. I think it's some sort of summer solstice or whatever is what they said. It's the hottest days of the year so far. So, but a couple hours worth of work, about 4 hours worth of work. We got 5 panels up on the side. Turn around so you can see it. So there's five panels, almost halfway. And then, yeah, we're working. Nick just had to leave. I believe Will is coming here, should be here in a little bit, and he will be able to help me finish out the rest of the day. So wish us luck, guys. So I didn't get you anything from yesterday. We were on a roll, and then we weren't on a roll. And so we didn't even get a wall finished. I made a couple pretty big screw ups. We're able to work around them, but anyway, so here's the progress now. Up to that door, we got like, I think 2 sheets left is all we lack on this wall. So that's what we're gonna start with this morning. We're gonna get the 2 sheets up, and then we're gonna start on the other side wall. And hopefully, good gracious, we don't run into any crazy stuff like we did yesterday, and we can complete a wall. All right, guys. Holy crap. So it is day 3, and we've got this side wall up to there done. Past the window, we're almost to the door. We had to finish the other side this morning, and then, you know, we came on this side and started working, and boy, has it been a day. So we, right now the plan is to just come back in the morning, finish this side, and then I think we're gonna be done for a little bit. We're going to stop there, and I'm gonna give people breaks, not ask anybody to work for a little bit, so that we can try and be refreshed and ready to go. So maybe this weekend we can roof it or something, I don't know, we'll see. But that's how far we got today. We are done for today. We got this back wall finally finished. Last video you saw, or last portion you saw, it was like right here to the door. So this morning we came out, we finished out to the door, and then we also did a couple corner trim pieces because we were expecting some rain potentially Wednesday, so wanted to get those covered to cover the insulation. So let me show you that real quick. So we got the trim piece that comes up, covers this, caps off this corner. So we got that one put on, and then we got this one over here put on. Up and down. pretty good. All in all, the only real sucky part about this job so far has been the dang heat. Been under a heat advisory since the day we started. Not fun. So, all the guys that have come out and helped during this hot weather, man, I don't know what else to say, but thank you. I appreciate you. This shop is, full reign. You need anything done, you come right on. If you suffer through the heat to get the shop up, you deserve time in the shop. So bring it. That's the least I can do for you guys that are out here helping me. I can help you. So, so the plan now, we are going to finish off the front. We still got to get like the garage doors done and the roof. So if all pans out, I'm planning on maybe Wednesday or Thursday, we'll trim out the garage doors, have that ready, and then sheet the front and then sheet the roof. I'm hoping, the front, it's got a lot of pre-cut short pieces. It's got a bunch of these guys that are already pre-cut for like over the door. That'll save a bunch of time. It's just going to be a lot of insulation to deal with because we got to cut a lot of that insulation away because it's only, a couple feet from roof to peak of ceiling, or 2 feet. Yeah, we got a 14-foot sidewall with 12-foot doors, so 2 foot from garage door to peak. So you're gonna be cutting a lot of the insulation away. So that's gonna be mainly the time slowing part of the next little bit. So but outside of that, man, we are rolling, and hopefully if all pans out, by the end of Sunday we will have a roof on and we'll be in the dry. And then it's all the trim pieces and all the other little knick-knack pieces that got to go on. So, all right, so I started doing work before I realized I hadn't even filmed anything yet. So just give you a heads up what we're doing today. Me and Nick are working on getting the garage doors trimmed out. And then depending on time and however, maybe start on the front, sheeting here in just a little bit. But yeah, we're getting the garage doors trimmed out. I got one piece up already. So you see here, this jam trim, I got it put on up this garage door. So now I'm working on the other side, up and over, and we got 3 of those to do. Yeah, pretty quick and simple. It doesn't take a whole lot to get them up there and in place. So we're gonna do that, and then who knows where we might go from there. But trying to get some prep work ready for the weekend, so we are ready to roll first thing Saturday morning to start sheeting the front, which I don't think will take very long at all. It's a lot of cut panels, like I said in the other video. So, all right, guys, I'll give you some process. I promise I'm going to give you a time lapse system. I'm going to set it up right now. Just like that, we got it up. I don't know if you could see in the video, I took the screws out that had the existing trim piece on. That way it gave it a nice flush look, right here, because if those screws were there, you'd see it hit the screw and then kind of bulge out and around. That was already there. But yeah, it gives it the nice clean flush look all the way up. Really not that hard to put up. So now would be the piece that goes across the top, but I think I'm gonna do all the doors first and then we'll work across the top since it's so high up. But yeah, one down, 2 to go. We just finished trimming out the doors. So I'll give you a quick little show here. All right, so you got the side that goes all the way down and the piece that goes across the top. And then we just cut a little slit so that water runs down and runs into the channel instead of running down the front. But yeah, got all 3 doors trimmed out, so now we're ready to insulate and sheet. I may try and tackle some of that by myself. I don't know. Think I can do it. It's just kind of some of these sheets are going to be real long and tall, so might be a little heavy or cumbersome to try and handle, but we'll see. I'll make that determined. Like I said, I don't think the front will take a long time if I just wait, but that's just one thing that's one thing done that's, off the... Wow, that's one more thing checked off the list. I don't know what I was trying to say. So, we'll see. But yeah, man. We'll be back in just a second with whatever we do next. How y'all doing? We're out here on another weekend. So I've already got, Nick just helped me put up this one sheet here. I already had that door pretty well done. So I'm gonna set up a time lapse so you guys can watch this wall come up. So enjoy. We have finished the front wall and have started on the roof. So I didn't get any video of any of that because my phone died pretty early on before we even finished the front wall. But there she is in all her glory. Front wall is done. So we have the roof finished basically to the corner of that garage door. Started getting in a good process, so we should be able to fly through this today and get this joker in the dry. What do you think, Nick?
It's been hot, but it'll be worth it.
It's wild to finally see it come to this, guys. All right, guys, we're taking a little break. We are about, I don't know, halfway on the roof. Meow. Got Pop over there, OG. You got Papa over here. Coming along, getting there. Whew, guys, what a day. A day that we all thought would be a half a day turned into a 12-hour day. Don't really know why. I mean, we were moving right along. Just a lot of panels, I guess. So everything's done. The shop is fully enclosed. Yes. How about that? Roof's done. All the walls are done. I'm beat. My dad's beat. Nick is beat. My pop is beat. Everybody that came out here is freaking probably beat to death. It's been so hot and they've suffered through it. And I can't thank them enough for being here for me. So now I'm gonna end off the video with that. Hope you guys enjoyed. I got what I could as far as content. I'll give you some, I'm gonna go up here and give you some shots of the roof. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. It'll be a while. I'm gonna take a little break. Peace. Oh, look at that black roof. That hot 130 degree probably feeling roof. Well, guys, I thought I was done for the day, but there was a chance of rain. I freaked out, so we came and tarped it. My lovely wife came out here and helped me. We got a tarp over it all the way down with just some random wood, iron to hold the tarps down. Turns out it looks like the storm's going to move away from us, but we have a better chance tomorrow. And this should suffice so I don't have to get up here tomorrow and cap it. So I got all the insulation covered. Ay, ay, ay.